Hey, what's going on, guys? Back with Freddy or Indoor Winner, and we are here with another episode of World of Tanks gameplay reviews, which is my lazy way of making gameplay reviews on making tank reviews on different types of tanks without actually having to look up and figure out the stats and all that stuff. Instead, I'm here to just watch and commentate on games that I've already played and not really talk about the stats because I don't know them. So, well, we've already done 2 other tank reviews, and it's a little bit weird that I haven't covered my favorite tank in the game yet. And what is that, you might ask? Well, it's the M4 Sherman, Tier 5 American medium tank. I actually already have unlocked the M48 Patton, but I still have this tank because, well, this tank is hilarious. Here's 2 shots. That's my second shot fired, and I missed again. And, well, what strength does this tank have? Actually, wait, really quick, I'm just going to edit this. Editing magic, and there we go. I'm back magically, and that's, well, that's why this tank is good. This tank, well, it's a Tier 5 American medium tank. It doesn't have very good armor. Its gun depression is okay, but it's not that great. Its mobility, it can go up to about 48 kilometers per hour, which is pretty good, but it's not great. And the accuracy, aiming time, and shell velocity is horrible. Well, what makes this tank good? As you can see there, the accuracy is horrible. Well, what makes this tank good? Well, the gun, it may have terrible accuracy, but it's a little bit ridiculous at Tier 5 games, because this is actually a 105mm... Oh, I wasted a shell there. 105mm howitzer. And the 105mm howitzer does 410 average damage per shot, and that M3 Lee has 310, and he's dead. So, well, what's special about high explosive shells? Well, it does extra damage. It does 410 average damage per shot. Okay, I'm up to 4 already. It does 410 average damage per shot. However, it has terrible penetration. This only has 53mm of penetration. Even though it has terrible penetration, as long as it hits, it will almost always do damage, because high explosive is exactly what it sounds like. It's explosive. As you can see, I didn't penetrate, but I still did 49 damage. High explosive actually splashes over the tank that you're shooting at, so if it doesn't fully penetrate and explode on the inside of the tank, it'll explode on the outside, and that's still probably going to hurt just a little bit. Again, the accuracy is a little bit, yeah. But, thing is, with gun rammer, this thing reloads in 6 seconds anyway. So you still do 410 average damage per shot when penetrating, every 6 seconds when you're fully kitted out. At Tier 5, where pretty much everything, you can one-shot every single tank in the game lower than you. Is that right? Yeah, I think that is. You can one-shot every single tank in the game that is a tier lower than you. Every 6 seconds. That's ridiculous. Okay, so these shells, if the high explosive doesn't suit you, then you can, of course, load HEAT, or heat shells, aka high explosive anti-tank shells, and those don't have the explosion, so if you don't penetrate, then you won't do damage. Excuse me. However, you will still be able to, you'll get better penetration, you'll do slightly less damage per shot, but it always helps you against slightly better armored targets, like the sides of heavies or something like that. You'll go up to 101mm of penetration, which will allow you to go through some enemies. And there's 6 kills already. There's a Top Gun. And, we've started the cap, which is a little bit unfortunate for me because I really wanted 8 kills here, but spoiler, I don't really get it. I'm actually going to platoon with a guy called Nighthawk. He's a friend of mine, and he's at 1 kill, but he's unfortunately died. I'm up to 1,500 damage. And, yeah, every 6 seconds, I'm not penetrating this Churchill 3, but every shot I'm getting module damage, critical hits you could see in the bottom. I'm reloading every 6 seconds. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm getting spotting damage, and assistance damage just for, tracking these guys repeatedly. And they can't shoot me while I'm getting hold down like this with my, mediocre gun depression here. And, as you can see, this tank is just... It's absolutely ridiculous when it's used correctly in a top-tier game. I have 2 marks on this thing, and I just can't 3-mark it no matter how hard I try, even though I get games like this all the time. Because this tank is being played so ridiculously well. I'm at a loss for words because it's just an absolutely, as you can see from the beginning, the montage that I put in the start of this video, This tank is just... It's completely destructive. The high explosive at this tier with such a good reload, and people don't really expect it, you just take them out so quickly. Now we're back with game number 2. It's another tier 5 game, another top tier game. However, everyone's a tier 5 now, so we'll see how this tank shapes up to the other tanks of its tier. I accidentally rammed the Chaffee a little bit there, and I'll just speed it up because it takes me a little while to get into position here. But Nighthawk decides to go to the other flank, so I switch over and decide to support him. I get to the ridge here. I start looking for shots. Now you can see how long it takes for this to aim. I look for the 82, but the Leopard has less armor. Take a blind shot. Does it hit? Yeah, it did. The Leopard's on 3 health. So, yeah, this gun is really, really, really good. And, I'm not saying it's overpowered. As you can see, I'm missing a lot of these shots, but the thing is that I reload so quickly, it doesn't really matter. And I'm still being able to one-shot most of these tanks that I'm seeing. That M4 Sherman, if that had hit, it would have penned and probably killed him in one shot. So now I decide to move forward because this is such a low-tier game, and I have coded optics on this tank. I am able to get my view range up to almost full, which is a lot more than most of these newbie players have up. Excuse me again. So I decide to move up. The rest of that team is completely demolishing the other flank, and I come up all the way up here, and I'm still not spotted because these guys have horrible view range, but I'm able to spot all of these guys. And I'm waiting for my team to just pick them apart, and I don't want to fire because I'll get spotted, but this is just too tempting. That's 371 blind damage to the M4. Yeah. Yeah, that must have hurt. So now I'm moving up to try to deal with this T-67, but my platoon mate, Nighthawk, gets taken out by the Type T-34, and I know that he's sitting up on the ridge to my right, so I poke up to see if I can see him while making sure that the T-67 doesn't get a shot on me, and I ended up spotting a Chaffee there. I take a shot, but it goes low and misses. Now the AT-2 that I had left alive before on the opposite side of the field is taking shots at me, so I pull back so I'm below his gun line, and there's a hill in the way. And now I feel like I could poke up and try to get some shots into this yeah, can't talk today, into the T-67, but I notice on my mini-map that a Chaffee's coming, and yeah, that didn't really work out well for you. That's a top tier, full health, 360 health, Chaffee, light tank, rushing after a tier 5 medium. Usually, the tier 5 medium would probably take a lot of damage. However, this tier 5 medium is completely broken in this matchmaking. So, it will always do damage, and since I penetrated that Chaffee, it did full damage, but as you can see, it is balanced because I missed most of my shots. The thing is that I'm almost reloaded, and yeah, it wasn't really smart for you to stop there. Now I am for another shot on the AT-2, but he's already taken out, and there's no way I'm going to do any more damage this game, so we're just going to go straight on to the next one. I decided to kind of insert this replay in here because, well, I don't really play very well in this replay. I certainly don't play very well in this replay, but it's just to show you how amazing this tank is. And even when it's outnumbered, just because its reload is so great that you're able to take out several opponents in a row. And I'm in a platoon with BK Wonder, but unfortunately we don't really work together all that much this game. I make some mistakes. I take a shot at this, looks, miss. BK puts a shot in. It splashes below his tank, but it still does damage. I put another shot in, miss. I'm pretty sure that went straight through his turret. Ghost shell there. I aim for another shot, but he gets taken out. So now I move forward, and I don't even notice that there's an M4 Sherman on my right until now. I keep pushing forward, Scores are 2-0. Now I spot the T-40. I look for a shot on him. I aim. Find a green spot. Hit it, and still bounce. So I try to reload. Aiming, and there we go. Took him out. BK is up to 1 kill, but unfortunately he's going to get taken out pretty soon because he's facing off against an M4, but he's caught out in the open. I look for these 2 M5 Stuarts. Find him, and That shot misses, but it's okay, because this tank is absolutely ridiculous. Surrounded by 2 M5 Stuarts? Not a problem. For America. America. Now there's VK behind me. I turn to get out of the way of him, and I put one more shot into the other M5 Stuart. So I managed to take out both M5 Stuarts. Now the VK is closing in. The M4 is coming from the other side. I move forward to dodge a shot from the M4, put a shot into the VK. I move forward. I should be going around the VK right now. I don't know why I stop in front of him. I'm an idiot. But put one more shot into him. It doesn't take him out, though, because I can't penetrate him from the front. But the reload is ridiculously fast. And I ammo-rack the VK, but here comes the M4 Sherman. I'm excited, but VK's like, M4, 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 M4. And the M4 takes me out. 4 kills in approximately 30 seconds. And that quickly, we're on to the last replay that I will be showing tonight. And that's because I wanted to end it with a bottom tier game, because not every game you're going to be top tier and just absolutely demolishing little light tanks like I was doing in the other replays. This time, we are bottom tier in a tier 7 game, and it does not end I don't do nearly as well as I do in the other games. However, I'm still able to help out the team in other ways. Now, I'm just going to speed it up a bit, and you guys can see this is why I'm not saying that this tank is overpowered. It does not need a nerf. It's hilarious to play, and I love it so much, but it's not overpowered because you have games that just start off like this, and usually they just pull all the way through. I'm only showing you the great games, but sometimes you have miss after not getting any shots, getting spotted, switching over to the other side, looking for more shots, miss, fully aimed, miss, next. Well, he wasn't even there that time, but still, I'm already, the scores are 6-7, and I haven't even hit anything yet, much less penetrated or done anything like that. I'm at 0 damage blocked, 0 spotting damage. I'm doing pretty, oh, never mind. 85 damage, whoa! And as you can see, against a Tiger, which is not even that well armored, well, that just hit a pole, and that's another weakness of high explosive shells. When you hit destructible materials that you could usually shoot through with AP shells, you can't shoot through those with the 105mm howitzer. As you'll see again here, as I try to aim between these two pillars, I hit the pillar in front of me again. But now I have a clear line of sight. Now I fully aim. And that completely misses. So you see, this tank isn't overpowered. It's just hilarious to play. It's a lot like the KV-2 or the T-49. You're going to have games where you play amazingly well and you hit several shots and you get thousands of damage, and you'll just absolutely crush the entire team. You'll probably get a Top Gun. It's hilarious. However, for every one good game you'll have about 10 bad games, because, I mean, this gun, it's more of a roll of the dice, really. Oh my goodness. Really? I am burping so much that it has brought me to say, oh my goodness. Okay, well, I spotted the T-34, and as you can see, what I'm trying to do is bush mechanics here, where I'm pulling back so where I can't see through the bushes after I spot enemies, so that when I fire through, they can't see me. But the T-34 was so far away there that I didn't really have to fear anything, that he was going to spot me back. So I just took the shot anyway that time. But we're losing 9-11. They have a Tiger 1 on their team, and I can't really penetrate the Tiger 1. As you could see before, the one time I hit him, I only did 85 damage to him. Now I pull back to try to support this Panther, and I aim, I fire. It goes high, and then I aim, I fire. It goes high. I aim, I fire. It goes straight through his turret. Wait. Okay. Well, that's not fair. I fire another shot, but he turns, and because of the low shell velocity, I don't get the shot in. Now these guys are getting close enough so that they'll be able to spot me soon. They're about to take out the Panther. I try to put one more shot into the tiger before he becomes unspotted. I hit. I do 134 damage there. Wow, that's impressive. And I pull down. Now I look for more shots. It's just me and a tier 7 artillery versus a tier 7 heavy tank, a tier 5 medium tank, and 2 enemy artillery. I take one more shot, do 130 damage to the tiger there, and now I wait for my artillery to put shots into him. Now you can see that shot misses. I'm up to 500 damage, but it's not like I've done that much in the way of supporting the team. But now this artillery is hitting all of the targets that I'm spotting for him. And I'm just keeping them spotted and trying to bait them out. While my artillery, well, their artillery is trying to take me out, but I'm trying to make it as hard as possible for them to get a direct hit on me. While my artillery is aiming for a shot on this T-34. Now, the T-34 knows he's going to get taken out by the artillery if he continues to play as passively as he is. So he decides to make a push to try to catch me out. So he makes it. I'm looking here, but I'm not paying attention to my minimap. But then I realize that he's all the way down there already. M44 on their team gets a big shot into me. Now I decide to push forward so I can take out their spotting T-34 before they get another shot into me. I move forwards. I move backwards. Where am I going? Okay, now I turn around gradually. I'm trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was trying to avoid the artillery. Okay, that makes sense now. Now I look for a shot on this T-34. How does that miss? Okay, so that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Now I try to wiggle so he can't shoot me. He puts one shot into me. I get around him. I finish him off with the second shot. And as you can see, this tank is really, really RNG-based. It'll have some really, really great results, but that's only some of the time. Other times, you won't have anything nearly as good as this. Anyway, I'm going to move on. We're going to speed up the end of this replay. Just because it's going to take a while for us to clean up the artillery. Took out the M12, didn't even get spotted there. He can't see me. Put one shot into him, wait for the artillery to take him out, but he misses, so I finish him off. And there's 3 games in the M4 Sherman. 2 were bottom tier, and 1 was top tier, but I was still able to contribute to the team in each one. In the top tier games, you could see me one-shotting several different tanks. There were lots of heavily armored tanks that I was able to pick apart bit by bit with my high explosive shells. While the lighter armored tanks, like that unfortunate Chaffee in one of the earlier games, or when I was facing off against several tanks at once, surrounded, I was able to one-shot almost all of them. But as you can see in this last replay, this tank isn't really overpowered, it's just hilarious. There are some games where you get really, really upset because you can't seem to hit a single target no matter how well you aim. Most of my shots this game, they kept missing. Or if they hit, they just didn't do much damage. So I was getting really upset by the end of this game, but I was still able to help the team win by spotting for the artillery. And I ended up getting 400 spotting damage, which doesn't sound that impressive, but we won a 2v4 against a tier 7 heavy tank, a tier 5 medium tank, and 2 artillery. So, well, I guess my point is that this is my favorite tank in the game, not because it's overpowered or anything like that, like the T-29, but this thing is just absolutely hilarious to play, because even if you mess up, then you'll still have a lot of fun, because as long as you hit, you really can't bounce a shot. If you bounce a shot, then that's unfortunate, but if you play badly in this tank, then you can just blame RNG, because I mean, RNG is what controls this tank. But I should really stop talking. That's going to be about it for this episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe so you can see more montages like there was in the beginning of the replay. Words. And leave a like on the video. Comment down below what other tanks you would like me to review. I have quite a few, so if you leave one down in the comments, chances are I might be able to review it. So please leave it down in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to share this with your friends, and that's about it. Take care.